Welcome to the Algebra Final Review. This is problem 3 of Standard 5. Writing the equations of lines that are parallel to other lines. And the big thing we have to remember on this is just basically that if lines are parallel, well, let's show you this. If lines are parallel, I want you to look here. Zoom in as close as I can. If the lines are parallel, something interesting happens. When I go in to make slope triangles, because I can see that these look like they're parallel, and let's just see what happens here. If I make a slope triangle here on this one, it's going to go over 2 and up 1. Well, what does this one do? Well, it seems to go over 2 and up 1. If two lines are parallel, they have the same rise over run. In this case, the rise over run is a half. In this case, it's a half. Now, let's see if that's easier to see. It's 1 over 2. So 1/2. Now, the only thing that really changes in them is where they cross the y-axis. Notice, let's see, this one crosses at 2, and this one crosses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 6. So now I can write my rule for these. Take a moment and just examine this. When two lines are parallel, look at their rules. You'll always notice that these two things are the same. The slopes will be the same. It's kind of what I'm saying here, is that if I've got it into y equals mx plus b form, that these will be the same, and this is the only part that'll be different. Okay, in class when we'd worked on this, I handed out a worksheet with a kind of a flow chart showing how to do parallel and perpendicular lines, and then I had basically one that had like as many steps as I could figure worked out. If you've got that, you might want to take a look at it. But we're going to take a look at this problem that you have, problem 3. And I better do something because I'm about to lose focus. There we go. Sorry. Something about this camera just does that. Okay, it says write the equation of a line parallel to 3x. I'm going to write it bigger. 3x minus 5y equals -7. That passes through the point 0, 0. So I know it's got to go through the point 0, 0. So what I want to do, this really isn't written the way that we're used to finding the slope, because the slope is not 3. It's a different number because we're used to seeing things in y equals mx plus b form, and this is not that way. So we're going to use a little algebra really quick to get it in that form. So let's see, this is what we're trying to get by itself right there. So let's see, we got to move the x over. Opposite of adding 3x's is subtracting 3x's. On this side, that's easy. That becomes 0. So I get -5y equals -3x minus 7. The next step is going to be to divide everything by -5. And I'll get y equals 3/5 x. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so 7/5. Same thing happened here, negative divided by negative. Now I'm ready. What is the only difference between this line and the line that goes through that point? It's right here. It's the y-intercept, or the b. And so I'm going to go ahead and change colors, because the first step is to find the slope. And so I'm going to change colors here, and I'm going to write what I know about the new one. The new one's going to be y equals 3/5 x. And for right now, I'll just say plus something. Now, because we know that it goes through the point 0, 0, we have a little kind of a special way that we can find what the y-intercept is. If we plug in the point they give us, it has an x, it has a y, and we solve it for the only thing left, which is b, then we'll know what the y-intercept is. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Let's see, the y value is 0 equals 3/5 times the x value of 0 plus b. 0 equals 0 plus b, or 0 equals b. You won't always get 0, but you can just use algebra to figure out what b is. So I know that the y-intercept is 0. Well, I could write that now as my actual equation. Y equals 3/5 x plus 0. But we usually don't write a plus 0 on it, so we're just going to write it as y equals 3/5 x. And there is my answer to that problem. Now, that pretty much does the problem. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to be trying to explain some ideas about this. I think I'm going to do another example to kind of help you see how it might work. If I said write the equation of the line that is parallel to y equals 4x minus 3, okay, through the point 1, 2, okay, I'm going to follow the same steps, and here's what they are. In every rule, y equals mx plus b, I've got to know a rate of change or a slope and a y-intercept. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a slope and a y-intercept. Well, I know where to find the slope for parallel lines. It's basically the same as the one they gave me. So I'm going to write that much down. Y equals 4x plus, and I'm just going to put the letter b there for now because I don't really know what that is. That's the only part that's different. Now, just like before, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to plug in this for x and this for y. See, my y is going to be 2 equals 4, and the x is going to be 1. 2 equals 4 plus b. I wanted to do one here where it didn't have 0 so you'd see what happens. It always does this. You're either going to add or subtract this number, whatever the opposite is. So I'm going to subtract because it's positive. That's 0. 2 minus 4 is negative 2 equals b. Okay, so I know what my b is. I know what most of my rule is. My rule is going to be y equals 4x. I got that from this part right here. Now, the only part that I had to figure out was what that was, and looks like it is negative 2. So I could say plus negative 2, or usually we'll just simplify it as 4x. When you're adding a negative, it's the same as subtracting. And so I'll just write it in that way. I hope this helps. The next video will cover writing the equation of lines from 2 points.